Hello guys, hope you're doing great today. I want to say a big thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for your support, thank you for your encouragement, and for the new viewers, please don't forget to follow, don't forget to like, don't forget to drop a comment, and I'll be very glad. Thank you guys. So today we're going to be doing how to draft a dress, dress like this. By the time we're done with the drafts, this is something that you'll be having. So by the time you make any dress, it comes out like this. You can see from this dress, the back, the front, there is nothing bulging out. It's just perfect. So this is the pattern that is applied to get this perfection. Also, you can see this orange dress came out also similar. So this pattern is how this pattern is created to arrive to this perfect fitting. And the measurement we're using today, shoulder is 15.5. The shoulder is 15.5. Please, if you have not watched my video on how to take a measurement, please don't forget, please, you could stop by and check that too. Also, the video of how to draft a perfect armhole, you could also stop by and check that too. So guys, what we have is 15.5. Now 15.5, we're going to be dividing it by 2. Shoulder is divided by 2. So we have 7.75. Now we're going to be coming down. Let's deal with the neck first. We're going to do a standard neckline. For this particular person is a medium size person. So we're going to be using the standard neckline. So we're going to be using 3 by 3. This neckline can be altered to any size or any pattern that you want, to any shape that you want. So we're doing 3 by 3. Then you can do a freehand here, or if you want, you can go up by 1 inch. You divide whatever you have by 3, gives you 1 inch. So we're going to do by 1 inch. You can do by 1 inch. I rather prefer using my cuff today. So my cuff is giving me more than 1 inch. So this is a different neckline. You can have a neck. You can have this. You can have anyhow you want to place your French cuff here. So let me just work with this. So that's this here. So we're going to come to the shoulder. You come down by 1. Please, if you have not watched my video on how to draft a perfect armhole, please, you understand why we are coming down here by 1. Then here, you connect it here. Now, this person is the bust of this person is actually 40. So 40 divided by 40, yeah. Or let's go down here first and take it straight down first. Then the person's bust point is 11. Our under bust is 14. This is bust point. This is under bust. Then we're going to come down. Our half length is 17. This is half length. Then our hips. She's on the tall side, and for that reason we're giving her 8.5 for the body rise. That is the hips. So here's where the hips will be. Then the length of her knee is actually 18 from the half length. It's actually 18 from the half length. So now I'm going to be it's actually 18 from the half length. So let's go here. 18 half length is 18. This is half length. I'm sorry, this is knee length. Knee length. This is the knee length. Then the length of the dress, of this dress, is 43. So I'm going to go down to 43. 43 here. So this is the length of the dress. So let's come down back to the let's take this place. Then our bust is 40, so we divide by 10. So what we have here is we divide by 4, sorry. What we have here is 10. Then you have your 1/4 inch for ease allowance. Then you come to under bust. Under bust is our under bust is 33. So 33 is going to give you 8.5. then here plus quarter 8 point quarter, then plus the ease allowance. Half length, half waist is 35, so 35 is going to give us 8.75, and we also have quarter ease allowance. So we're going to be connecting this. Remember that there's no, we're not adding any seam allowance. It's a pattern. You can add the seam allowance when you want to. Now let's stop there. So in here, we're going to come after the slope here. Now, that is, I said, if you have to watch the armhole video on the armhole. Now this person now, her armhole is going to be 8 because there will be a slip added to it. That's why we're using 8. Please, I refer you to the video on the armhole. Let's cross check here to make sure we're on 15 points to give us a straight line. So here we're going to be connecting, then you go this way, then you connect here the bust point up this way. Now when we come to the hips, this person's hips is 40, so 40 divided by 10, then we add the quarter of an ease allowance also, then we connect. I always like doing mine like this because if this straight pattern is usually used for people that are on the slim side. If you have somebody on the hippie side, you can apply with the French curve. You can place your French curve. It will give you a curvy shape. But when you are applying for a slim person, that is why I prefer going straight, so that there won't be any excess at any area. Now, the half length, the knee length. Now, when you come, in this knee length now, we have like now we have 10. That is the hips divided by 4. You're going to have 10. Coming down here, the delicate area, very delicate area. This will depend on how inwards you want the dress. Some people want it tighter, some people want it less tighter, some people want it even straight from the hips. So this is depending on the dress you're making and whom you're making the dress for. But if it's the dress, those things you are making the dress that I showed you on the video, on this video earlier, we're going to be going in by 1.5 or 1. I would prefer going in by 1 because the person I'm dealing with prefers it that. But if you are dealing with somebody on the very hippie side and the person not having too much ties, if the person is having not having too much ties, you go in by 2. If the person is very hippie and a smaller tie, go in by 2. If the person is less hippie and here is less also, you go in by 1.5. But in this case, this person doesn't want it exactly as it is, so I'm going in by 1. So this part will determine your custom, the person you're making the dress for, becoming the person's preference. In this case, I'll be going in by 1. So if it's 10, now it's going to be 9 plus the ease allowance, which of quarter, then I'll have it here. So I'm going to be connecting this to this from the hips. I'll be connecting it to this. Now I'll bring you back to the hip side. The reason why, nobody's body is sharp. So that is why you place your French curve here, like this. To get a C shape, you see an eye there. It's because of the camera, you can't see it too well. You see an eye there. Now you blend it. Make sure you're blending it. Now I've just blended it. Nobody's body is sharp. I've just blended here. So if your client is very hippie, and this place you're coming in by 2 or 1.5, you will have more to close up here. So it depends on what you're drafting and how you're drafting, but always make sure you get your curve shape here. Then this is the length of the dress. So let's make our end here. Remember, this dress does not have a seam allowance. Then here you also bring, just come down here, straight down, straight down. And this is it. This is it for the front. Huh? Now we're going to be coming to the dart. We're going to be putting a contour dart on this dress. Now it depends on the kind of dart that you want, but this particular dress, I am going in for a contour dart. A contour dart comprises of a skirt dart and a blouse dart and a waist dart. Sorry, that's what gives you a contour dart. So if you watch at the hip half length, we are dividing by, we go this way. So now, in case you want to slash this place up, in case you want to leave this place down, this place automatically has become your upper bodice and this part is your lower bodice. So what you just come, for this person, the nipple point is 4. The nipple point is 4. If you don't understand the nipple point, please check our video on how to draft, how to take a measurement. Then because I am going to put in half 4.5, because there will be an sewing allowance to take in the darts. If this dart was going to be slashed open, I would not be needing this ½ inch, but because it's not going to be slashed open, I'm creating the ½ inch inside of it. Then by the time we are coming here, you'll be returning the allowances here. By the time we are putting our seam allowance, you return your seam allowance here. So what you do now is, now we are going to be coming up 4.5. We come to the bust points, you mark your 4.5. You come to the knee hip line, you mark your 4.5. Now, here at the bust points, you're going to come down by 1. Because by the time your dart stops here, it helps to create the fullness around the bust point. That is, the purpose of that is to create fullness. That is why I stop 1 inch before the bust point. You can also stop ½ an inch before the bust point, but do not get to the bust point, because you have not, if you exceed the bust point, that means you are not creating the fullness that the person needs. That you have missed the purpose of the dart. Now when you come to the hip line, we go up 2 inches above the hip line. 2 inches above the hip line. Now we're going to be marking on the 4.5 line. Mark on your 4.5 line. Then here, you have it here. Now coming to the half length, you place your here, half, then you connect this way. Now this is what you have. Now if you take away, when it's full like this, on a full gown, it will call the contour dart. But when you take away the upper bodies, let's assume we are taking away our upper bodies now. Now you can now see it is now a skirt blouse. This is your lower bodies. And when you fold this up lower part, it is now what? A blouse dart and upper bodies. Now please, this is not a bustier dart, it's just an ordinary dart. Now this is what we have. Now coming to this point now, this is 8. We're going to be dividing 8 by 2. Gives us the middle, this is 4. Then that's where you place your French curve. Sorry. 4, half of it is 4. Of 8 is 4. Now you place your French curve. Make sure your French curve is touching this point, and the point where your line connects, your bust line connects. Then what you do here is you connect from here to here. Now I will not be, I would still do the elimination here, but first I will allow us to finish this dress, then we'll come back and do the elimination here. So this is it for the front. Now I'm going to be cutting it out. I'm going to cut it out. Remember that there's no and you come here. Watch what I'm doing here. Now you're not going to, make sure you give it a curve. Make sure you give it a curve. You can also do that with your marker. You can do that with your marker, your pen if you like. All you need to do is also, just like what we did for the hips, you also do the same. Or you can also do it with your free hand if you like. So you just do this. That is just it. You get your curve there too. So for cutting it, remember there's no seam allowance on this pattern. So this is it. This is the front. This is what we have for the front now. Now we're going to be moving to the back. So guys, this is for the back. I had to place some sellotapes on it to manage the papers. So this is the back. And I'm replacing this front. Now we are going to be placing the front here. So we'll trim the back and trim it out. So I advise you place it this way, very close. Oh yeah, this is it. Let's take it from here. So we're going to be tracing it all out. Then we mark here the bust point, the only bust point, the half length, and the hip line, the knee line, the hip line. We mark the knee line and obviously the end of the dress. So now that is this with you. We're going to be taking away the front. So this is what we have. Right? Okay, so now we're going to start working with the back. Now the back, for the back here, we use 1.5 inch. 1.5 inches. That is the standard for the back. Is 1.5 inches for the back. 1.5 inch to 2 inches. So yeah, this is it. So the back is going to take a curve like this. That's for the back. Now, the next thing to do is to create the zipper allowance. zipper allowance for beginners, or let's say a normal fabric that we're working with, is going to be 2 inches. It could be 1.5, it could be 1, it depends on what you're working with, but the standard for beginners is 2 inches. So we're marking 2 inches all the way down to get our zipper allowance. Now, another thing that this is the zipper allowance. Now, what you're going to do now, we're going to be marking it straight down. Now coming here, we're going to extend the neckline for the back here. Right? Okay. Now, another thing we're going to do is coming to the waistline. We're going to create the darts also here. So remember, this is the waistline and this is the starting of it. So we have our 4.5 from this place, not from the zipper side, from the main. You create your 4.5. You create your 4.5 from the main. 4.5. 4.5. This is the bust point. Now remember that here, which is the bust point, so I won't get confused. We're going to be going 1 inch upward, 1 inch upward from the bust line. That is for the back, for the darts for the back. Then we now come to the hip line. This is our hip line. For the back at the hip, for the back at the hip line, for the back, 2 inches upward, as usual. But here we're going to go 1 inch upward. But for the back, it's normal. So what you do, we're going to be marking our straight line, connecting to the up. Now the waistline, you're going to come in your usual half inch, connecting it straight down to the hips, straight down to there. Then come here. That is one thing. This is the waist. Let's mark the line here. So now, this is for the back. Now, another thing we're going to do, at the back also, we're going to have, if your dress is going to have a slit, what you do, this is our hip line. We're going to come to our knee line. Our knee line is here. We're going to go, this is the knee line. You go about 2 inches upwards. 2 inches upwards at your knee line. Then you mark it like this. That is going to have your flap line. That is where your flap is going to start from. 2 inches above your knee line. Sometimes it also depends on the person you're making the dress for. But usually standard is 2 inches above the knee line. And you mark. This is going to be your flap. That is it. Then also, another thing that will be happening here is we're going to be doing the bulge elimination. Now what you're going to do is you come here at the waistline. We're going to be coming at the waistline. You mark half inch downwards from the waistline. Mark half inch downwards.